My name is Eugene Pickett, and I represent a couple of groups: the National Rural Coalition, the National Latino Farmers and Ranchers Trade Association, and then here locally, my business is Black Farmers and Ranchers New Mexico. And what I do is, and I never should have said it in the group that I said it, but I was like, I had retired from the state. And so I was like, this is going to be cool. I'll get back into farming and ranching and be able to, just grow some crops, go to the local farmers market, and this would be very nice. Well, I got flooded out 2 years ago. So it changed my whole modus operandi because when you have a flood that's 5 feet of water throughout the whole valley in Pueblitos, your planting season is totally altered. you know, so I had to think it out. So in the group, I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to identify what the cash crops are in New Mexico that small ranchers and farmers, especially blacks, could take advantage of. And so, what my business partner was like, oh, yeah, okay, well, that's what you do. So they started flooding me with all this information. And of course, now everybody in here is aware of industrial hemp. That's a big thing across the country. But when we got in it, that was like a hush hush, bad thing. That's marijuana, which it isn't. Mushrooms is also something that I wanted to get in because I have a restaurateur that said, whatever you grow, I will get it sold for you. So these two things, brought me into like an ionosphere of understanding. Now, the National Latino Farmers and Ranchers Trade Association has 70,000 small farmer members across the United States, Mexico, Canada, and Puerto Rico. So this is a tremendous, like movement, small farmers, because small farmers, we want a slice of the pie, so to speak, and we cannot compete with the conglomerates. No way. But what this group does, they actually live in DC. So they're some of the strongest lobbying individuals in the country. So a lot of the language in the Farm Bill that has gotten us equal access, they're responsible for. The major class action suits, they were involved with these. So policy and information sharing, we engage here locally, to bring that information so it's accessible. But then the flip side, I always like to look for the product, and my star didn't show up. I'm within your 15 seconds. And it happens to be my daughter. And everybody, one of our mottos is everybody eats. Animals eat, people eat, but she's involved with being a pollinator. So I said, well, you're a pollinator. She said, no, I'm a bee tender. And every time I go over her house, because she runs a business out of her home, and it's a hair care, natural hair care salon, I always see this line. So as long as she's open, there's a line of people. And she's got to close down, and she's got these products that come from bees. All of the care products. I'm like, your business is going to blow up. So I just learned a new word at my table over there. You don't mind if I use it, do you? It's called voluntold. Voluntold. Well, I had voluntold her to be here so that she could come up and give 50 seconds, because her products, that people, women and men love to have, their hair done. And I see them come out smiling. I see the line from, like 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, you know what? As a young person, okay, who's an entrepreneur, and I know you because you're my daughter, you need to, come back to farming and ranching. And as a pollinator, you are a farmer. So what I enjoy, that I love New Mexico, because we have a particular flavor of how we think, how we taste, how we do, and how we engage one another. So being involved with this is like just truly a blessing, because there's so much love all the time in the room.